Show, big fight coming up for him at Bellator 210 in Oklahoma City against Noad Lahat. One of SBG's finest, Mr. Brian Moore. Brian, how are you, my friend? Great to have you. How are things?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Thanks for having me.
Brilliant stuff. How are you? You're looking sharp. Training going well? The camp going well ahead of this fight?
Yeah, camp couldn't have went better, Niall. That was my last session there. So I'm just after finishing a striking session there, last session of the camp. So I'm ready to go now, man. All that work is done. It got to the stage where, training was, I love training, but I'm itching now. Do you know what I mean? I'm finished training. I want to fight now, so I'm ready to go.
Brilliant stuff. Brian, for me, you're one of these guys, especially since the AJ McKee fight. I think you've really sort of come into your own. Can you explain to me why that is? The first couple of rounds, you looked fantastic in that fight. Obviously, you got caught. It was a fantastic performance. What has been the different sort of elements that have led to this sort of... You've been steadily improving since the Daniel Whiteshell fight when you made your Bellator debut.
Yeah, well, very simply, since the AJ McKee fight, I've been full-time. When I fought Daniel, when I fought AJ, I was doing this part-time. And to be at this level, to do it part-time, I was pleased, but, something had to give. I juggle a lot, but I've been able to dedicate my last two camps being full-time, and that's made a huge difference. And this is the best camp I've ever put in. It's the most focused camp, it's the most calculated camp, and now I can't wait to go out and show this. You know what I mean? In my last fight, you could see that the improvement. There was definitely a jump in skill level, and this one's going to be the same improvement again. Have we
even seen the peak of Brian Moore yet? If you're saying that, it's obviously been very sort of busy lifestyle for you with the gym and everything that's going on. I believe, you even said, your last fight, your fight against AJ McKee was probably one of the worst camps of your career, and there was other things sort of going on outside the ring as well. Have we seen you peak yet?
No, absolutely not. Like, I'm 31. I'm not coming into my athletic prime. How I always judge that is, I think about when I was 21, and I'm a far fitter, stronger, healthier man than I was back then. I'm only getting better at this game. You know what I mean? And I really feel like that. That me doing this part time as such, I got to a good level. But me doing this part time, I really feel like I can really achieve my potential and go to the top. I look at the featherweight division, and it's a great division. Yeah, but definitely. I'm better than these guys on my day. And I look at the champ. I would beat the champ in my opinion too. And I'm just excited about this next fight. I'm not looking past that as well. Like I think I'm going to turn a lot of heads in the division with this next performance.
Obviously, you said full-time training for your last two camps. You're 24/7 at it. How has that come about? Have you been, financially more stable maybe with the gym? Is that the reason?
Yeah, well, yourself, Bellator, they pay well, so that's, makes it more viable financially. But also the gym itself, you know what I mean? I do still work in my own gym, obviously, but I'm able to delegate a lot more of coaching hours to some excellent coaches that I have now. I'm not running the ship by myself as such. I manage it now a lot more than I do coach. Now, I still coach quite a bit, but I'm able to work my camp around that rather than the other way around as such, So it came about. It took time now, to be fair. It took a lot of different, a lot of juggling as such, but I'm really happy with what I'm doing at the minute. You know what I mean? To a certain extent, I don't understand how fighters just fight, because there's what have you trained 4 times or 4 hours in the day? What the hell are you doing for the rest of the day? It's boring. You know what I mean? So I like having other things to do as well, and I have 2 very small kids who keep me occupied as hell as well. So
it's about finding a balance and obviously having the people around you, Brian. Obviously you've a good circle of people around you there. How important is that once you have trust in people like that around you, to keep your focus completely on the fight? Psychologically as well, it must be a lot more sort of pleasant on the mind going into fights, that you're able to just fully focus on the fight and not worry about what's going on in your personal life.
Yeah, well, like even in my own gym, like it's not a martial arts gym; it's a strength and conditioning facility and personal training. The guys are in that. The coaches there are fantastic. I can walk. I can go to Oklahoma, and I can. I know that it's in great hands. So having that trust alone is fantastic. But my team, like when I step in 7 days' time, it's the team. It's not just Brian Moore getting in there. You know what I mean? My coaches, my teammates, my family more than anything else, my wife.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us that have been sacrificed, and if I didn't have that circle, I wouldn't be getting in there in 7 days' time. I wouldn't be fulfilling dreams of mine. I wouldn't be chasing goals. And I'm just blessed that I have so many good people in my life. And when I step in there in 7 days, I represent them, not just me. You know what I mean? And that excites me.
You talk about trust there, and we look back at the AJ McKee fight again. I don't want to bring it up too much, but everything, all the sort of demons that you had, and the tribulations and trials going into that fight, and to put on such a performance, probably as you said, the worst camp of your career, that must instill a huge amount of confidence in you and your ability as well going into this fight, especially as you said, having such a good camp coming into this one.
Yeah, well, look, when I fought AJ, I never brought this up firstly, but AJ kept running his mouth saying his camp was poor. So
that wouldn't be like AJ, Brian.
Yeah, well, that's it. What happened with myself is my wife was very, very sick at the time, so I used to kind of have to get up, look after things at home, look after the gym. I would have to go to Dublin, drive straight back home, go coaching, go look after my family again. And, I was burnt out getting into that fight. Going in, I remember thinking in the dressing room, I was like, right, just fucking go for it. You know what I mean? Just wear your heart in your sleeve and go for it. You know what I mean? While going into my last fight and going into this fight, rather than thinking about just going for it, I'm thinking about all the effort that I put in, all the boxes that I've ticked in this camp. You know what I mean? To have me at this level and have me this prepared. So that's why I'm oozing a confidence as such going into this. But that being said, AJ is he's probably the next in line for a title.
Yeah.
I beat the crap out of him for 2 rounds. I slipped on the canvas in round 3 and he took my back and choked me. He done a great job, by the way, in doing so, but I was there and I was about 20%, and my 20% was better than him that night. So that being said, you know what I mean, I'll step in against anyone, anytime, anywhere, and I'll always put on a good show, and prepared me will squash any of these guys.
I think your technical, your technical boxing stand up some of the best in SBG, especially, and some of the best fighters in this country. Would you go along with that statement that you're one of the best, most technically crisp and quick guys in your feet in this country?
To be honest, and I like me long enough. I'm not one to kind of blow my own trumpet and such, but I think I have some of the best boxing in the featherweight division. I think I have some of the best boxing in mixed martial arts. My style is very different. My speed is on a different level than these guys. Whether I'm going to throw, knock them out with one or in volume, you know what I mean? I'm always thinking ahead of these guys. And I think I have some of the best stand-up in the game, to be perfectly honest, especially in Bellator. So, with that being said, I have put so much time into my grappling, especially since the Daniel Weichel fight.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to showcasing that. I said it on another podcast. If I submit Noad, it's not going to be the first black belt I've submitted either. So I'm looking forward to showing a complete package in there.
Yeah, funny you mentioned that. I was going to say that to you. I always sort of thought earlier on in your career that was maybe the issue, you translating things from training into the cage. But you seem to really have done that now, the last 2 fights, piecing it all together. Would you go along with that? Is that how you feel, that it's all coming together now at the right time?
Yeah, I think going back to say piecing it together, bringing what I was doing into training into the cage, I think I used to just get in my own head and I used to try and make things perfect when you can't do that. You know what I mean? If anything now, I do better in there than I do in training. You know what I mean? Which I think is a massive asset. You know what I mean? So sometimes, I used to, like I said, get bogged down in my own head. If things didn't go right in a fight, if it wasn't perfect, I'd be on a downward spiral thinking of things. Well, I know now, fighting is fighting. It's chaotic and it's trying to do the best in there is the most important, you know what I mean? But yes, I've been definitely been able to piece everything together, my grappling, my clinch work, my striking, and putting on a much better package. In the last fight, when have I ever seen a guy getting knocked out and then getting choked out in the same round? I done that to that guy, do you know what I mean? So, no, I was really happy with that. I wasn't just going out and finishing the guy in 30 seconds. I knocked him down, I woke him back up again, and then I choked him out. So,
is that the most satisfying thing? And often fighters will say that, and they'll tell you that to knock a guy down and then ultimately choke him out's the best feeling in the world. Was that, for you, the best performance of your career to date, in terms of having that feeling of being complete?
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. I think I always take things from every fight, but I really enjoyed that one because, I felt crisp on the feet. My grappling was good. I got to throw really good ground and pound. Everything I got to do everything in that short space of time. It was nice because sometimes after a fight you might win in round one, and I remember, like, say, I think I've a good few wins by submission in the first round, and you come out with there going, yes, I won, but then fuck, I didn't get the box, or didn't get the kick, I didn't get to do anything. So that one, the last one, was nice in that regard, you know.
Definitely. Are we seeing a more cerebral, calculated Brian Moore now? Is there more thought maybe going into your performances?
Yeah, because I'm doing this thing full time. I'm not doing this, like, don't get me wrong, it was never a hobby. It was always an aspiration to be great and to be great at this sport, in this sport, should I say. And but now the backing is there, the time is there, the effort is there. It was never from a lack of effort, Niall. I'm a really hard working man.
100%, yeah.
But it was just priorities. Yeah, and I've just been able to prioritise mixed martial arts, that end of my career. You know what I mean? I'm able to prioritise that. And now I'm so excited about it, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I probably am more calculated and focused, because this has been my focus since December. Mixed martial arts has been my primary focus.
Noad Lahat is the focus in just over a week's time. We've seen him in the UFC. He's a guy who's susceptible to being knocked out. How do you see this one going down, and how do you judge his skill set as a fighter?
Yeah, look, he's quite complete. He's formidable on the feet. He's better as a grappler. Yeah. But, you know, just even like from attributes, from characteristics, he's a lazier fighter than me. You know what I mean? I don't think he'll put up a good pace. I think he'll wilt. You know, when things aren't going his way, you can see it in him. He's not fast. He tries to explode. He's nothing about volume. You know what I mean? So it's going to be more kind of, I'm looking at his characteristics more than his skills. But that being said, he's very good at everywhere. He has wins by submission, he has wins by knockout, he has wins by decision, but he has losses by all those as well, as far as I know. And he has been knocked out. So, you know, I think that'll be I think that's how I'll finish him. You know what I mean? I think it'll be a knockout. I
love this fight in paper. I think it's going to be an absolute slobber knocker of a fight, and I think it's potential fight of the night. Do you see it sort of panning out that way?
It's a great fight, and I really just want, like, the Irish MMA fans to get behind this, because my fight was only officially announced like 10 days ago, but I've been training for, you know, a long time for this. I've had the first time where I've had a full 8-week camp for a Bellator fight. You know what I mean? I can't wait to bring another good win home for Ireland and myself. You know what I mean? So it is going to be a great fight, because he's a good fighter. Yeah, I'm a good fighter. We're both quite exciting. You know what I mean? We'll be going out there to try to kill each other, and, you know, may the best man win, may the most prepared man win.
You talk about Irish MMA fans, and I have to touch on it. Obviously, Jim, you're familiar with some of the guys who took home medals last week at the IMAFs.
Yeah.
Brian, I think it's really about time the government sort of stood up and took notice. You're a guy who's talked about, you know, having financial struggles in the past, and if there was something sort of set up, you know, even recognition from Sport Ireland and obviously the ministers in this country, that we could, you know, even get the lads tracksuits to go out and compete as a team there. I thought it was pretty bad. The government must take recognition and do something now after, you know, I think 11 guys out there, 8 got medals. I think, you know, Olympic sport of the future. Just your thoughts on that whole scenario.
Yeah, look, when you go and represent your country, you want your country behind you, and the guys weren't represented, you know what I mean? So it was shameful in that regard. On top of that, you're looking at amateurs that are giving their everything to this sport. You know, you look at high-level inter-county players, and they have full-time jobs, and they're training maybe 4 times a week, you know what I mean, including the match. The guys that are fighting at amateur that went to the IMAFs, these guys are training twice a day, 6 times a week. It's not amateur to them. So the least they could do is get behind them, especially you see every one of those guys. They carried that tricolour out. They held it up with pride. We should be getting behind them. You know what I mean? It really touched the nerve with me when I seen that, because you know, we should be getting behind our own, no matter what. Look at it. If Ireland were playing cricket, we're the best at getting it, and we fucking hate that sport here. But we get behind it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it should be the same for mixed martial arts, especially these young guys that are doing themselves proud and they're doing us proud. Do you know what I mean? It's about time they stood up and recognised this.
Just one more on that as well for you, you know, in terms of, you know, obviously the lack of pro shows here now, and obviously the regulation, safe MMA, and the sport's not obviously recognised in this country. It's detrimental for the pro guys as well. We've seen a lot of guys here who've been signed obviously to Bellator, and Bellator are having problems getting a card here in Ireland, and sort of it's been a real problem for pro fighters too. because of the lack of recognition of the sport.
Exactly, and like it's a promoter's nightmare right now to start a small show in Ireland by the looks of it. Because it was never really financially viable for them, and you'd always hear promoters not making money. They're not all lying, I'm sure, but like, you know what I mean. It's a difficult scene at the minute without the backing of it, because if we're backed more, then we could have more shows. But now you're seeing guys that are getting signed to bigger promotions that probably could be, you know, they could be cutting their teeth in smaller organisations and working their way up, because that's how I done it. And I went through pretty much every scenario in a fight on the local scenes and for the 300 and 400 people, and now I'm confident going into a bigger stage. Well, rather than if I jumped into Bellator on day 1 or day 2, I don't know where I doubt I'd be having this conversation with you right now. You know what I mean? So
100% agree with you, and hopefully Minister Ross takes notice after last weekend's phenomenal results, and congratulations to all the lads there at the IMAFs in Bahrain. Listen, Brian, it's always a pleasure to speak to you. I'm really looking forward to your fight next week in Oklahoma against Noad Lahat. Best of luck, and always a pleasure. I'm sure we'll have you on again soon.
Thank you very much, Niall. Thank you.